All right, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to Flow Yoga. I'm Danny and I'll be guiding your practice this morning. Most important thing throughout our time is to make sure that you take care of yourself on or whatever is going on for you in your body today. I'll give you lots of options throughout our practice and yeah, just keep listening to yourself. If you have any props around, feel free to grab them. For support, we'll be playing with a little bit of that. So one of the things that I love most about the practice of yoga is just its focus on adaptation and this ability that we can take various options and really listen to our own inner experience based on what's going on. I feel like it's also a great practice off the mat in life, just as a human being in our modern world and probably in previous worlds as well. There is this constant invitation to shift and mold and adapt to the environment and just things that were being thrown at us and are thrown at us. So we'll work with that a little bit in our practice and allow the body to adapt and awaken through movement. So come into a supportive seat, and that could be on a chair or cushion, blanket, cross-legged seat, or you can also use this seat if you have blocks or something like blocks called a diamond pose with a little bit of support back behind to create lift and elongation in the spine. Whichever seat you're taking, let the hands and arms relax either by the side of your body or down at center. Invite your eyelids to soften partway or completely closed. And take in a full, deep cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale it out through your mouth. One more time, deep, engaged breath through nose or mouth. With the exhalation, open mouth to let it go. And from here in this space, take a moment to welcome yourself, however you're showing up in this moment today. Whether you're feeling more uplifted or energized, whether you're more fatigued or feeling a little blue or down, or maybe it's somewhere in between those places, acknowledging, welcoming. Into this space of awareness of where you're at physically, also noticing the mind. Gradually take your palms to connect in front of your heart center. Begin to amplify your breath, deeper inhalation through nose or mouth. Start to expand through your lungs. As you inhale, open your palms to the right and left, elbows stay in a little bend, floating motion. Exhale, draw your hands in to touch one another. And with the inhalation, again, float the palms open, right and left. Exhale, like two magnets coming near each other, connect the palms. And continue this motion with your own rhythm and breath. Inhale to expand out, with the exhalation drawing in. Take time to cultivate a fuller, deeper, more awake breath, diaphragmatic breathing. Every inhale, fill your lungs. Notice the expansion throughout the whole body, 360 degrees full and wide with the breath. And as you stay conscious of this deeper breath, hands pause at the heart center. Take a moment here to create focus, intention, direction for your time in practice today. It could be around this idea of adaptation, shifting, molding, If that doesn't fully connect with you this morning, then call in something that really works for you based on what you need. And to acknowledge this and each other's company in the space, gently bow head to heart. Flutter your eyelids open, take on some light, release your hands. Be mindful from whatever seat you're at, make a transition as you shift the weight forward, coming onto all fours for tabletop position. In tabletop, knees under hips, and the hands under shoulders. You can also go wider than both of those touch points. And with your inhalation, float your right leg long behind you. Point your toes back, create a little stretch for the underside of your knee. Fire up through your finger pads. You can always take hands to fists, or if you have blocks or other props equivalent, you can always take the hands onto those props if your wrists are a little more tender. Gradually start to circle your right ankle in one direction. And slowly circle, oops, the opposite direction. Inhale to lengthen through your whole leg. Exhale, lower your knee down to the earth. In breath, float your left leg back behind. Point your toes behind you. Activate a little length to release any tension from your knees. And from there, start to circle your ankle in one direction. Gradually circle in the opposite direction. Inhale, breath. Pause. With exhalation, lower your knee down to the earth. Inhale to draw your collarbones forward, arc more from your mid and upper back. Pelvis stays pretty stable. Exhale, round, upper back domes to the sky. Inhale again, move more from the upper part of the body, calf stretch. Exhale, dome the upper spine. Continue these motions, cat and cow, your own rhythm, exploring, being mindful. And check in with mental attention. Use the breath as a little anchor point to support you when the mind travels elsewhere. Opportunity to hug back to the movement of your breath. Final cycle here with the inhale. As you draw forward, honoring your ranges of motion, exhale to return low back to neutral. Fire up through your finger pads, curl your toes under, dome the upper back a little bit to the sky. And with an inhalation, lift your knees off of the earth to hover. Exhale, lower back down. Mindful of the wrists. Inhale to lift, little hover. Exhale to lower. Continue this tap dance mindfully with your breath. You can stay in this up and down movement, or for a little bit more heat building, next time you extend to a hover, pause and sustain here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Knees down to the ground. Inhale, draw your hands to your thighs, rise up, kneeling position. Inhale to circle the arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower your hands down through center. Mindful of your knees if you need added support. Bring a blanket here to the knees. Hands to hips, gradually extend your right leg out to the side. Toes can also angle upwards or foot can come forward. So check in with what works best here. Activate through your extended leg. Inhale to sweep, arms to the sky. Exhale, slight lean over to the right side. Inhale through center. Exhale again, slight arc. Focus on elongation. One more cycle for the slight arc. With the inhalation, rise back up through center. Exhale, hands to hips, draw your knee back to center. Extend your left leg out to the side. Know that your leg can also come a little forward in front of you if your hip feels like it's in tension, having the leg straight out. It's going to vary based on your hip rotation. Inhale to open, arms to the sky. Exhale, again, gentle arc. Move with your breath. One more cycle here. Inhale to lift back up through middle. Exhale, release hands to hips, knees back to center. Gradually lower hands to the earth, tabletop position here. Fire up through your wrists or fists, curl your toes, dome through the upper back. Inhale to lift, knees off of the ground, hover. You can tap dance for less heat, otherwise sustain for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to lower, knees down to the ground, tabletop. Inhale to float left arm rather, to the sky. And with your exhalation, thread towards the right, gentle twist, bend your right elbow as much as you need. Keep it moving here. Inhale to rise, open and spin skyward. Exhale, thread and rotate. Continue this exploration of movement. Few more rounds. Even as you move your front body, stay aware of your back body. Notice if your toes are uncurled or curled. Which one feels more supportive here? Final time to twist. And with an exhale, hand lowers down to the earth. Inhale, right arm flies high. With the exhalation, revolve here. Gentle movement. Bend your left elbow as much as you need. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. And final cycle, arm to the sky, your own speed. With an exhalation, return your hands back down to the ground. Inhale to float your right leg back behind you. Option for blocks here for added lift. With the exhalation, take your time, slowly step your right foot out in front, curl your back toes under. If you are using blocks or equivalent props, move them higher up. Inhale to lift back knee off of the ground. Take a moment, as many steps as you need. Step up, front edge of your mat, deep bend in your knees. Inhale to rise, standing strong, spine support, arm sweep. Exhale to lower, hands down to heart center. With the inhalation again, palms lift. Exhale, hands lower. One more time. Inhale to sweep, arms rise up to the sky. One more time here. This time with the exhalation, draw your arms out in front, bend your knees, shift the weight back behind, arms lower. Knees can come more in front. Inhale to lift, stand, arms rise. Exhale again, bend, shift the weight back. So check in with the angles here that feel most supportive to have a neutral, stable spinal column for you. Next cycle, as you sink down, pause, or opportunity to pause for a bit more fire here. Again, check in if there's tension in your low back, create just a little bit of length in your tail. Side elongation through the ribs. Deep breathing. Relax through your mouth, your jaw. Chair pose, one more cycle here. And with the inhalation, lift back up to the sky. Exhale, lower your hands by the side of your body. Take a moment. And with the inhale again, sweep your arms back up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, hinge at your hips, bend your knees here. Fold forward, reach for the support of your blocks or props or the earth. Another deep breath here, spine long. Exhale, step your right foot back behind you. Blocks can adjust to the side of your front foot. Inhale, breath here with exhalation, bend into your back knee, hover, inhale to lift. Exhale again, bend and hover, building a little bit more fire here. Continue this movement on your own. Next time your back knee hovers above the ground, pause, sustain here. Exhale, lower your back knee down to the earth. Inhale to elongate, arms rise to the sky. Wide V here, deep breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, cactus arm position. Lift up and out of your waist. Expand through your collarbone skyward. Chin can lift a little bit. Some gentle baby back bend here. One more in breath, arms rise. Exhale, lower hands back to the support of earth or block. Inhale, back knee lifts partway. With exhalation, take a moment, step forward, deep bend right into a squat. Inner leg strong, lift the arms to the horizon, chair pose. Inhale to rise back up, standing. Exhale, open your arms wide. Inhale to lift, circle the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend your knees as you fold, hands support to the earth. Gradual step, left foot back behind. Take a moment to adjust here. It's not a super wide stance between the back foot and front foot. When you bend the back knee, hip is tracking in line with your low knee. Inhale for a little lift. Exhale to lower. So it might feel a little bit of a shorter stance than you're used to. The point of that is to create more stability, more muscle strength. But at the same time, you need to adapt based on the length of your limbs, since we're all a little different. Next cycle, when you hover your left knee off of the earth, pause. Feel elongation even here from the center of the body to the top of your head. Sustain for the fire, building for a few rounds of breath. Continue to have the breath be full, wide, conscious. Exhale, lower your back knee down to the earth. In breath, rise, arms lift to the sky. Exhale, bend cactus position with the arms. Inhale, lift up and out of your waist. Elongate skyward, chin can tip slightly. Inhale to rise, arms to the sky. Exhale, lower, hands support down. In breath, back knee rises just a bit with the exhalation, as many steps as you need. Front edge of your space, deep bend in your knees. Inhale, rise up, standing, arms lift. Exhale, hands float to center. With inhale, arms circle back up to the sky. Exhalation, bend your knees, shift the weight back, arms out in front. Stay both through the inner legs. You can stay right here or add a little bit more fire. Heels lift off of the ground. It can be a tap dance as well. Heel slower, then lift for the balance and heat exploration. If you're looking for more sensation, lift your heels and sustain. Hands can always come to hips for added support. Exhale if heels are lifted lower to earth. Inhale, rise. Straighten the legs, arms extend, noticing heat, optional mouth open, sound as you lower. With your arms by the side of your body here, bring your feet together. Bend your knees just a little bit. Actually, come back up, hands to your hips. Feet can spread a little wider. So first, shift the weight into your left leg, active, strong leg. Lift right foot off of the earth just a little bit, returning back to ankle circles. Few rounds here, gaze to earth to help with balance. Circle opposite way. Notice if the brain feels a little bit more challenged. Mine does on one side of the circle than the other. Gradually lower right foot to earth, active, strong leg, gaze support. Inhale to lift your left foot off of the ground just a bit. Circle ankle one way. And circle ankle other way. Gradually lower foot down to the earth. This time, bring your feet together. Little bend in your knees, both hands onto your knees. Create a few rotation circles here, lubricating through the joints, one direction, and then other direction. Pause, feel free to restabilize your feet wider, hands to hips. A few explorative circles at center. Move opposite direction. From there, pause at middle space, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Pause, shoulders at ease on your back body. Inhale, sweep arms to T position. Circle here, a little forward, up, back, and down. Reverse, opposite way. One more inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Arms by the side of your space. Start to shake everything out. Fingers, forearms, upper arms, shoulders, center of the body, hips, legs. If your knees are pretty good to go, disconnect your feet from the earth and take a full body hop. Relax your mouth, your jaw. From there, pause, soft gaze. Take a moment to observe any tingle, sensation, heat. What's present for you here? Reawaken through your gaze. Come up to the front edge of your space, feet hip width apart. Inhale to sweep, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to the center, fold forward, deep bend in the knees. As you bow to the earth, hands touch down, step back right into high plank pose, top of a push-up. Option for knees to ground here for less fire. Dome a little bit more through the upper spine. One more inhale. Exhale, knees again can support. Bend your elbows. Totally wonderful here to bend the elbows wide out. This will actually offer you more strength in the release if that feels like it's a little bit more intense. And from there, adjust your feet hip distance apart, center of the body stable. Take the hands back behind, palms lower down to the earth at about a 35-degree angle with the arms. On inhalation, lift through, leg stable, lift just through your torso. A little bit of lift, focus on length forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale again for the lift. Squeeze through the glutes to engage the back line of your body. You can stay in this up and down, or next time you rise and stretch forward, sustain. Option to lift your arms. Legs stay stable for now. Deep inhalation. One more breath. Exhale to lower back down to the earth. Place your hands by the side of your ribs, breastbone, curl your toes under. You can either take tabletop or a strong push, lift straight up, right into high plank. And with an exhalation, shift the weight of your hips behind you, downward dog. Head relaxes in between your arms. Option to use blocks here for less wrist strain. You can also take the puppy stretch, knees to earth, hips in line with knees, arms out in front, still active. So mirroring the same activation in the upper body and down dog, but adapting for a little bit of greater ease in the back body. One more connected inhalation. And with your exhalation, from whichever position you're at, look out in front and travel to the front edge of your space, feet hip distance apart, bend in the knees. Inhale, rise up, circle the arms standing. Exhale, hands lower down, hands release onto your hips. Breath in. With exhale, gradual step, right foot moves behind you, heel high. Unless that's really unstable, then lower your back heel down, taking the foot out wider for more stability. If the heel is up, stabilize, start to sink into your front thigh, center body level. Back knee can still have a little bit of a bend. Inhale, layer the arms for more upper body activation, wide V, deep breaths. Feel the stability through the muscles in your lower limbs, keeping you active here. One more inhale. Exhale, lean your torso forward, both hands land onto your front thigh, 45-degree angle here, creating a little bit more low abdominal activation. If you want more fire, take the arms to the side of your space, or option to explore arms out in front. This can intensify the low spine activation, so stay aware. Inhale, both arms rise to the sky. Exhale, spin your back foot wide, straighten through your front leg. Lower your backhand to your hip, top arm up and over, reverse triangle stance. Focus on length, less than a lean back. Deep breathing. Inhale. With the exhalation, rebend into your front thigh, both hands to your hips. Adjust here, toes out, 45-degree angle or so. Feel free to shorten your stance for more stability. Exhale, wide squat, sink into your legs. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink. Next time you sink down into your pose, lower and stabilize your own degree. Inner legs active, glutes are firing here, strong and awake. In breath to sweep arms to T position. And from this place, start to play. Move your arms one direction, other direction. So a little Tai Chi type motion. Let yourself be in exploration here. Final cycle here. Next time your arms lead you towards the front edge of your mat, circle your legs, back heel high, lower down, hands to earth, step back, high plank pose, top of a push-up, take your time adjusting, deep breath, knees an option here. Exhale, remember elbows can actually bend out to the side to help the transition down for less intensity. Arms back behind you. Inhale. This time lift just your right leg, half an inch or so off of the earth. Stabilize here. And with the inhalation, upper body rises to join. Option to take left hand to the back of your head. Working with one-legged locust pose. Mindful of your low back. If there's any crunch on the lumbar spine, lower the height of your pose. Deep breath. Exhale to release back down to the ground. Hands replant, curl toes, tabletop, or reverse plank on your inhale. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Inhalation here. With the exhalation, look forward, coming up to the front edge of your space, bend in your knees, supporting the low spine. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, lower your hands onto your hips. Deep breath in. Exhale, step your left foot back behind you. Take time to adjust the position of your back foot. Start to sink into your front thigh. Stable in the low back, shoulders at ease. Option to layer the arms. Inhale to lift. And check in with mental attention. Where is your focus? Invitation to come back to body sensations, breath, this moment. With a gradual out breath, take both of your hands to your front thigh as you lean slightly forward. Stabilize here. Option to remain or take any other posture variations here. Inhale to lift, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, spin your back foot straighten through your front leg. Lower back hand to your back hip, top arm up and over. Gentle arc. Focus more on stretch and length as opposed to a crunch. Exhale, re-sink into your front leg. Both hands to your hips. Adjust your toes to the wide edge of your mat, 45-degree angle or so. Play with what works in your body here. Shorten your stance this time. If you haven't before, exhale to sink into your hips here. And with an inhalation, gradually lift your right heel off of the ground. Hover. Exhale to lower. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale to lower. Can continue side to side here, or for a little bit more intensity, you can play with both of the heels lifting. It can be a tap dance first or a sustain. Check in with your own offering. Arms can join as well. Final in-breath wherever you're at. If the heels are lifted on an exhale, sink them down. Inhale, arms rise to the sky. Legs straighten with exhale, readjust your feet, rebend the knees, transition down to earth. Step back, high plank, top of a push-up here, deep connected breath. Exhale, make your own way down to the earth. With arms by the side of your body, stable through your glutes. Inhale, left leg rises just a little bit. Focus on length. From there, inhale to lift your torso, also focusing on forward motion. And stay there or layer on. Right hand to the back of your head, elbow bends. One more inhale. And with your exhalation, lower back down. This time around, use your palms for a little pillow of support, either for your chin at center. You can also feel free to rotate your head to one side, taking a moment to soften and absorb, observe. How do you shift, adapt, become more malleable to what's unfolding in the practice on the mat and in your life off the mat too? And from there, draw your arms back behind you once more, palms down, angle still at 35 degrees. Tops of the feet begin to anchor down, inner leg strong, glutes awake. With your inhalation, lift your legs, torso rises off of the ground, palms and arms lift. Full locust pose here. Again, any crunch in the low back means you've gone a little bit too high. So focus on strength and stability, facial muscles relaxed. One more inhale. Exhale to lower back down to the earth, hands touch down, curl your toes, lift your knees, option for tabletop or reverse plank. Inhale, exhale, press back downward, facing dog pose. Deep connected breath, look out in front. With exhalation, journey as many steps as it takes you to the front edge of your space. In forward bend, deep bend in the knees as you arrive there. With inhale, lift and rise. Arms to the sky, standing position. Exhale, lower your hands down. And bring your hands onto your hips. Find the gaze point to help you out with balance out in front. And take the activation of your right leg here. Inhale, left foot comes off of the earth. It can stay low or knee rises to the line of your hip. Remain right there, option to layer, arms to the side, wrists heavy, standing crane pose. One more inhale here. Exhale, ankle to front thigh, bend into your right knee. Hands can return to hips or heart center. Figure 4, although this can also easily be a figure 7, depending on what's happening in your hips, range of motion or tightness. So know that it doesn't have to look like a figure 4. Inhale to rise back up, front knee floats. Exhale, lower your foot down. Take a moment to notice sensation in your standing leg. Relax your arms, receive. And from there, shift the weight to your left leg, hands to hips, gaze stable. With the inhale, play with your version of balance on this side, knowing it could be totally different. Exploring any posture options here. If you fall out of the pose, no big deal. Be kind, return back. And with an exhalation, play ankle to front thigh. Start to bend into your standing leg a little bit. Playing with the balance, figure 4 or 7, depending on hips. Use an inhalation, rise back up towards the balance. Exhale, lower your foot back down to the ground. Inhale, circle arms, lift back up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge and fold, bend in your knees. Hands touch down, And take time to step back, high plank pose, top of a push-up, connected breath. Exhale, bend at your elbows and lower all the way down to the ground. And take a moment to stabilize, to feel. And from here, bend at your knees, feet face the sky. Little scoop in your tail to activate through the core, squeeze through your glutes. And with the inhalation, arms extend back behind. Start to lift your thighs off of the earth, torso, back of the head, press as well. And let it be a tap dance first. Exhale to lower down. Notice the activation, the whole back line of your muscles. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. You can stay in this up and down, or at any point pause to stabilize. Again, staying super mindful that the low back is not crunching. Final inhale, your own expression in the pose, variation on bow posture. Exhale to lower all the way back down to the earth. Either palms come forward, chin at neutral, or take your head to opposite side from before. And take a moment to be here. And gradually, if your head is to one side, return it back to middle space. And use the support of the hands here. This time, inhale to lift right into tabletop position. Hips stay in line with your knees. Stretch your arms forward. Lower your head down in the direction of the ground. If the forehead doesn't easily meet, slide a prop underneath of your forehead to give your head support. Activate here through puppy stretch, fingers press forward, hips press back without really moving to create a little traction and elongation. And with a soft inhale, hands walk towards you, return tabletop position once more here. Knees can step a little behind of your hips and start to explore a few gentle rotations to the center of your body. Hip circles one direction. The circumference can be at your own measure. Super small, can grow larger. Explore and experiment here. And begin to reverse the circles in the opposite direction. Notice if there's tension here in your mouth, your jaw, facial muscles. Invite them to open and release. Take the two next rounds of your soft breath to begin to slow down the movement, returning your body back to a neutral place. From there, with mindfulness, shift the weight of your hips to one side, extend your legs out in front. Feel free to bend your knees here as much as you need for low back support. So if your low back is rounding, bend your knees, create more elongation through your whole spinal column here. Stabilize there. With an in-breath, lift your arms out to the horizon. Staff pose, Dandasana. Taking a moment here for Final little heat building. Abdominals. And back. One more full deep breath. With exhalation, bend your knees even more. Take your time, slow transition all the way down onto the ground. Once you've arrived here, take your right ankle to your left thigh in a supine figure 4, or again, figure 7, depending on what's happening in your hips. You can stay right here. This is plenty for many people. Or explore next options. Left foot, lift off the ground. And from there, option to thread your right hand through the window opening, left hand wraps behind your hamstring. It's a very gentle tug towards you as you keep pressing left foot and right knee away from you. Any little micro movements are welcome here as you explore the posture. And continue to stay conscious of your breath, but feel free to soften your breath. You can even float back into its natural state, simply observing. And stay curious here. What are you noticing as you sustain this? How's your body shifting, adapting? With your inhale, expand a deeper breath. Exhale to slowly release your foot down. Both feet return to the earth. From there, take left ankle to right thigh. And explore the posture on this side of your body. Where are you best served in the pose? Continue to tune in to your mind, what's happening in this internal landscape. Opportunity to come back to the awareness of your breath and what you're experiencing in the sensations of your body. Final inhale here. And with the exhalation, gradually release the hands if they're laced. Return both of your feet down to the earth. Bring your feet and knees together. Unless you have a prop, then use the prop in between of your thighs or your knees. Gradually roll over to the left side of your body, stacking the knees in line with each other. Your left hand can support your head here. And with the inhalation, start to open your right arm to the sky and then gradually back behind. Release your head and shoulders so they can follow the motion of your right arm as it draws back behind. Know that your right arm does not need to touch the ground here. You might feel some twisting action as well as a little bit of a stretch on your right shoulder, right pec muscle. It's totally fine as well for your top knee, your right knee, to no longer be stacked with your left knee as your arm draws back behind. Stay with the breath. Chin can be at neutral, gaze to the sky, or you can rotate your head towards the right side. With an inhale, rotate your right arm back to the sky. Exhale, lower your hand down. Use the support of your legs. Lift back up through center. Adjust here, roll over to the right side first. This time you can actually keep your right arm more at a T position or cactus arm. And from there, inhale to open left arm to the sky, or begin to rotate the arm back behind further. Noticing the range here, this side might feel more open, more contracted. And check in with your gaze, neck. And the breath can stay softer, or if you do notice that tension is building, re-engage a deeper breath to create some added calm. With a gradual inhale, extend your left arm back through center, down to your body. Feel free to use hand support to lift your knees back up to middle space. Readjust your pelvic bowl to neutral. Knees bent, feet to the earth. With next breath, lift your legs skyward. Knees can stay bent. Arms joined to face straight up to the sky. And from here, start a little shake in ecstatic bug pose. Find a little lymph circulating motion, loosening up any final tension through shoulders, facial muscles. Shake it out for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And come to a pause. Hug your knees into center. Take a full squeeze. And with an exhalation, gradually extend your legs long onto the earth. Feel free to slide anything underneath your knees for added lumbar support. You can always have the knees bent as well. One knee rests to the side of the other, or you can roll into a fetal pose as well to take this resting posture. Wherever you're landed, invite added comfort, any layers that you need for warmth. Allow your whole body here to be invited into ease, softness. And take your time to transition into this space of integration and rest. If you're navigating a busier mind this morning, opportunity to focus on one spot where you can observe your natural breath ebbing and flowing. And full permission to simply be here and receive, honoring the intelligence of your physical body and your ability to be skillful on and off the mat. And I'll chime back in a few minutes to guide you back out. And very gradually become more conscious of your resting position. Know that if you need and have a little bit more time to stay here, you can always do so. Otherwise, allow for a few waking motions through fingers, toes, eyes, and facial muscles. And take any other movements, a stretch of your arms to sky or overhead, or caress of shoulders. And gently, with an in-breath, hug your knees to center, and roll over to one side or the other in a fetal pose, taking your time. And with a gesture of care, press a hand to the earth, rise back up, and take a supportive seat with your spinal column elongated, eyes relaxed, either partway or fully closed. And once you're in a comfortable space, upright, bring your hands either to touch together in front of heart center in the symbol of Anjali Mudra, or one palm flat, and then the other hand on top of that. These gestures an invitation to recognize the qualities of the heart that reside within and without. And take note of anything that has shifted for you through your time of inquiry, of movement, breath. Acknowledge your own intention for the practice, as well as this ability that you have to adapt, to shift, to mold skillfully to the experience on your path. And to this gift, each other's company, gently bow head to heart, celebrating your wisdom, your strength. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions, comments, I'll be here for a few moments. Otherwise, take care.